This is episode 423 of Bella in Your Business. Welcome back to Bella in Your Business. This is the pet industry's longest standing pet sitting business podcast since 2014, created by Jump Consulting. We are here to inspire, motivate, and challenge your thought process about the way you do your pet business through our episodes, one-on-one coaching, mastermind, and marketing agency. Now, let's jump into the next episode. Welcome back to another episode of Bella in Your Business. I'm your host, Bella Vasta, and I'm so excited you're here with me today because we're going to be tackling a topic that I believe is crucial for the pet care business, and honestly, for all small businesses. Before I get going on this, though, I do want to say it's the beginning of February. In our community, we're talking all about numbers and how numbers affect our business. And we do this every year, but this year, we definitely have a really special twist. As you know, if you've been listening to the podcast episodes, you know that I am all about AI and I'm all about being your guide in the pet industry for AI. When everyone else is kind of not talking about it for whatever reason, I am diving deep into it. And so just so you know, if you're in our community, we're going to be using AI to analyze our bank statements and uncover hidden expenses, optimize our budgets, track and improve mileage costs, kind of like compare and contrast a lot of the service durations and make sure that what you're doing and spending your time on is optimal, optimizing staff schedules, client frequency patterns. We're going to be looking at referral sources and focusing on what really grows your business. We're going to define your ideal employee profiles, analyze customer sentiment and figure out what's working and like how that can affect your marketing. Guys, I have so much planned, and that's just on like the talking about front. I also have things that are coming out this month about, in addition to the 12 AI videos I did last month, we're going to be talking about how to create your own bots and how to do a lot of really cool things. But I don't want this podcast to get too long today because I have so much for you. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram, Bella Vasta, and I would love it if you would subscribe wherever you're listening to this, and please leave me a review, an honest review of what you think of this podcast. All right, so the topic is AI for client experience. Specifically, we're going beyond the basics. Now, if you've been paying attention to the technology trends, or you've just been on social media anytime in the past year, you've probably heard a lot about AI. Everyone's talking about ChatGPT, Claude, all kinds of different LLMs, how to do headshots, how to do photos, how to do videos, clone your voice, clone your video, like all kinds of things. And they're also saying that robots are going to take our job or something like that. It can probably feel a little bit intimidating or even overwhelming if you're not sure how to apply AI to your day-to-day operations as a pet sitter and dog walker or small business owner in the pet industry. If that is you and you were just listening to this for the first time, I encourage you to go back the episodes since the beginning of this year. And I have been talking about AI and I'm not going to stop talking about AI. That's it. I'm not just doing one podcast. Like AI is here and it is the way that you're going to be. It is the difference between going to Blockbuster and renting a VHS cassette tape and streaming at home. Jumpers are going to be streaming at home. And that's it. Like I will die on that hill. And so I really want to demystify the whole AI for the client experience concept. And I'm going to kind of chat with you today. I have a lot to say and I have a lot of notes for you. So buckle up, Buttercup. And it's not going to just be surface level chatter of you can use AI to save time on your social media posts. Like, no, like we're going deeper. And my goal here is to help you understand 4 different things. 1, how AI can be proactive in addressing your clients' needs, often before they even ask. 2, how to personalize your updates and communications so that your clients feel genuinely cared for and heard, even when AI is assisting you with the heavy lifting. 3, how to keep everything organized. Can I get an amen? Especially if you feel like you're constantly juggling emails, texts, social media messages from clients, employees, or even potential hires. And 4, how AI can learn to mimic your voice so that your brand remains consistent and your clients never feel like they're talking to a robot. Because if they do, then you failed miserably. AI is so far beyond that right now, and it learns you, and it's magnificent. So I hear these concerns all the time. And I know that people are also probably thinking that like, I don't have time to learn it. And I already have trouble balancing my schedule as it is. How's AI going to help me? And isn't it going to cost me a fortune or require a big learning curve? And that's just simply not the case. Sometimes people are worried about the cost, the complexity, or they simply feel, I'm not that tech savvy. But let me tell you, AI is becoming more and more accessible like day by day. And the most of these tools are free or affordable. And with a little bit of initial setup, they can radically free up your time. And the key is to use them in ways that enhance your personal touch rather than replace it. Okay. And that's what I've been teaching a lot of my jumpers. Now, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, head on over to jumpconsulting.net/magi, MAGAI. That is a tool that for $19 a month and 30% off if you go to that link, because of me, for the first 3 months, you get 30% off. So that's like dirt cheap. What happens is all of the LLMs, so we're talking ChatGPT, Claude, all of them. There's so many on there. And all of the models that you need to make pictures or headshots, it's all in Magi for $19 a month minus 30% off. It's a no-brainer. Because the thing is that all these different LLMs, they all have their different strengths and weaknesses. And it's so much better to go one place and get them all than have to go to each one of them and pay $20 or learn one of them and then be like, oh, well, this is the only one I can use, when really you want people to use them all. So again, head over to jumpconsulting.net/magi, MAGAI. Countless jumpers are using it and finding great success with it. Okay, so this is why I want to talk about beyond the basics, because it gets so much more complex than what you'll hear out there, like the chatter on Facebook groups, and people are like, oh, we'll just pull out ChatGPT. And then you get some random response that like anyone could copy and paste and use for themselves. So that's not what I want you to do. If that's your experience, you're doing it wrong. And I want to make sure that you're not doing it wrong. So why does client experience matter so much, especially in the pet care industry? I mean, think about it. We're not selling widgets. We're not shipping boxes of random products. We're taking care of people's pets, like in their home. And it requires a huge level of trust. And so when a client books you, they're placing an enormous amount of faith in your hands. And it's that relationship, that sense of comfort and assurance that you need to nurture if you want to keep them coming back and you want to stand out from every other dog walker or pet sitter in your area. Because I got news for you. Almost every single one of your websites say the same thing. And the only thing that differentiates you is your price. And there's so much more that you can do. AI can actually help strengthen the trust. How? By enabling you to communicate more efficiently, personalize more efficiently, and anticipate clients' needs. And the kicker, it's when it's used correctly, AI can actually enhance the personal touch rather than diminish it. The key is using it responsibly, ethically, and thoughtfully, which I'm going to talk about through this entire episode. So let's talk about some of the wrong ways to use AI, because this might be you, and I don't want it to be you. Copy and pasting AI-generated text without ever reading or editing it. It's a big no-no, because sometimes AI can output inaccurate or off-brand messaging. You never want a client or a prospective lead to get a message that doesn't reflect your business personality or has incorrect details about your services. You also don't want to hiding that you're using AI or making it your only line of communication. Clients will still want and expect to talk to a real human, right? When their question goes beyond the standard FAQ. AI should facilitate, not replace, genuine human connections. So these are a couple of the pitfalls to avoid. But on the flip side, we're going to start talking about how to do it the right way. So here's a roadmap. We're going to start by talking about AI for the proactive customer support. This is all about anticipating your clients' questions before they ask, so you could reduce the back and forth, making them feel like you're a step ahead. Then we'll move on to how to personalize your client updates. And then we're going to discuss AI for organizing and enhancing the client communication. And last, we're going to look at how to enhance your voice. Sound good? Let's get started. All right, so let's start with the example that's near and dear to my heart, because I've seen it time and time again with my clients. A new client welcome guide is essentially a resource that you send to clients as soon as they sign up or show interest in your services. It covers the basics: how to prepare for the sitter's first visit, what to expect during the walk, how to pay, how to reach you in case of an emergency, and so on. Now, you might be thinking, Bella, I already have an FAQ on my website. That's great, but guess what? Clients aren't always going to hunt that down or commit its memory, especially if they're on their phone at 11 p.m., frazzled after a long day, and they just want to schedule a dog walk for the upcoming week. If you can proactively send them a resource that answers their top 10 questions, then you're going to reduce friction and make them feel like, wow, this person has their act together. And they're going to feel seen and heard, and they're going to feel so secure because they know that you understand them because you've anticipated their questions. But writing that new client welcome guide from scratch can also feel daunting. And then not just writing it, but creating it. And so when you use AI to create this FAQ, this new client welcome guide, right? And you make it in such a way that is appealing and it's designed in a beautiful way, which Canva has AI and Canva can design you a beautiful one if you don't want us to do it for you. You can DIY it all and it's there. You just need to know how to do it. And that's definitely like stuff that it's hard to just kind of verbally tell you on a podcast. And that's why we teach it in our community. And so real life examples, we sat down and wrote a list with one of my jumpers. People were asking them over and over and over again. Literally, like if someone's asking you a question more than once, or you're getting the same question from more than one person more than once, you need to figure out a way to systemize it. And so things I know that you get are, how do I book a dog walker visit? What's your cancellation policy? What if my pet has a medical need? How do I handle the keys or the house entry for the sitter? What's your bad weather policy? All of those, we would fill it all up into the AI model and more. And then we would ask the AI model to get us more too. And we would create this. Now, I'm going to give you a pro tip here. Once you have this created, this provides you tons of content for social media. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole today. Like I could go, oh my gosh, I need to write that down because that's going to be on another podcast. So all of that can really help. And I mean, just imagine this beautiful thing that your client might get, showing them that you understand exactly where they're coming from. No longer do you have to be creative for this. You don't have to sit there and staring at a blank document trying to be creative when you're already burnt out, stressed out, and full of anxiety or hangry, or your kids are bothering you or whatever it might be. Like you can legitimately get this done in less than an hour if you know the ways to do it. All right. Let's skip to the next thing. Personalizing client updates without losing the human touch. Okay. This one is really, really cool because these updates, why do they even work in the first place? Because our clients can't be there without their pets during the day and they want the reassurance. You understand how important these are, right? Well, on a basic level, this is something that we did in like October 2024. Like this is so outdated, but I'm going to start you off real simple, like 101 level. It would be an AI assisted template. So you would have a template that you would give AI that's like the pet's name, mood, behavior, activities done, any notable moments, closing, sign off. And then what you do is you put in a prompt and you use prompts. Guys, we're not using prompts anymore. That's like literally so outdated now, but that is something you still can do. It's not the most ideal anymore, but you can do that. And then it will give you the entire care note, right? And so this is great because we have different pet sitters that write differently. And it's really hard. And I know that you've been in the situation just like I used to when I had my pet sitting company, where clients were like, oh my gosh, I only want this one person. And it's because they love their writing style. Well, this helps you be standardized across the board in your entire company. Not to mention, even if you're a solo sitter, sometimes you're just having a bad day. Sometimes you just don't feel like being creative and fluffy and warm and fuzzy. Maybe you're just like, something bad happened and you're just in a bad mood. This can really help you. Okay. Now, you want to maintain authenticity. And so sometimes people might say, but won't my updates sound the same if I only rely on AI? And the thing is no, it won't if you know how to work it properly. If you're putting in the same prompt every single time, then yeah, it might. But there are ways, and you can do multiple different templates, multiple different prompts, or you could take it and just create a whole bot, which we're also doing in the community, because now all of the sitters have this one prompt that they can just pull up. They can talk into it, like picture like a doctor, like talking notes into something. And then it just pumps out exactly the type of format that the company would want. And so that is like going to be really crucial in 2025 as we personalize updates and they become more standardized. Like it doesn't matter if Tom, Dick, or Harry is visiting, they're going to get the same type of update tone and length and all of that. You know, it's going to be quite amazing. There's obviously like special case updates, right? So like medical updates or puppy training or behavioral notes, right? And that's also where things get a little hard because sometimes your sitter might like say too much or say the wrong thing. And by having this implemented in your business as an everyday thing that's been used like multiple times a day by multiple people in your organization, it's going to be the bomb.com. Now, the third thing I was going to talk to you about is like AI for organizing and enhancing communication. So the multi-channel challenge is that like we have things coming at us from all angles, right? We have social media, we have text messages, we have emails. You might have some other form of communication. Maybe it's like journals from your software, you know? And so you're getting all this information everywhere. And the thing that will really help you is a tool like Google Gemini. It will create like certain built-in features that they have in Gmail, which by the way is free for anyone who has Workspace. That's actually something really cool. I've mentioned it on the podcast before. The end of December, Gemini gave it free to everyone. Actually, side note, and I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole right now, but with DeepSeek and being free and then kind of stealing ChatGPT and then ChatGPT coming out with Operator, which by the way, I booked a dog walk on, did I tell you guys this? I booked a dog walk on one of my clients' sites. Well, I didn't. Operator did. AI went to her site and signed up and booked a dog walk. It was freaking amazing. I have the whole video in the community. That's a whole other story. Anyways, all this stuff is happening and it's actually really cool because there's a lot of really good competition. And even though it's going to cost a lot of money for these companies and energy to have AI, there is like this race right now and it's really interesting. It's like watching a horse race. And like having like 20 different horses out there and who's going to win. Right now, it seems like ChatGPT has been in the forward. And then all of a sudden DeepSeek came up and now ChatGPT came back up and it's daily. It's like a soap opera and I watch it daily. I'm fascinated by it, but I digress. Okay. So you have multi-channel communication coming in, right? And so Gemini in your Gmail can really help you because you can talk to it and it has access to everything. And if you are like most of my clients, you get a lot of like the stuff from Precise or Time to Pet in your email. And so it can search through that stuff. It can also summarize long threads. And this is sometimes you might get an email or instructions from a client that's like really super long and you're like trying to make heads or tails out of it. You literally can just dump it in AI and say, summarize this for me. And it will be so accurate. Another way that you can also do this too, and this is like a little bit of a sidebar, but I think clients are always really impressed when you're able to, when maybe you're at their house or maybe they do get all of that and you throw it into AI and you summarize what this medical situation is or what the medicine schedule is. And you say, hey, this is what I gathered from our conversation or from your email. Please confirm that this is accurate. And they're going to be like, wow, I feel seen. I feel heard. This is accurate. This is amazing, right? And you're offering another touch to the client by following up with them. The other thing that you can also do is use AI to scan for keywords. So maybe there is like, you remember them saying something about something and you can easily have it scan for those words. Okay, number 4, AI that mimics your voice while speeding up emails. So the grand finale, AI can actually learn your unique voice. And this is often the biggest concern for business owners. I don't want to sound like a robot. My clients come to me because they like the personalized connection. How can I keep that if I'm using AI? Like, I get it, guys. I totally get it. I've solved this problem multiple times, multiple jumpers already. So it's a myth of the robotic voice. If you're doing it wrong and you're just doing it generic, like cold turkey, then yeah, it might not sound like you. It's going to sound pretty generic. But with Google Gemini inside an email, first of all, that learns it. Your ChatGPT will learn you. Claude will learn you. Claude is actually a really good copywriter. But I'll just give you examples here for Gemini. So let's say a new client emails you, hey, Bella, I'm interested in setting up regular dog walks. For my golden retriever, Daisy, she's a bit shy, so I'm hoping for someone patient and kind. Let me know your availability and rates. Normally, you might take 10 or 15 minutes to craft a thoughtful response, especially if you want to address her concerns about Daisy being shy, right? Oh my gosh, that is so old school. This is why you don't have enough time in your day. With Gemini, you can click a suggest draft button and the AI will paraphrase the email, note the client's name, Bella or Sarah or whomever, the dog's name, Daisy, the concern, shy behavior, the request, availability rates, and it'll generate a full paragraph or two in your typical tone. Something like, "Hi, Sarah, thanks so much for reaching out about Daisy. We absolutely understand how to approach shy pups with the patience of kindness, and we'd love to help her feel comfortable and safe on her walks. Our current availability," well, you get the idea, right? It is amazing. And basically, all you have to do is scan it and be like, it's like 90% there. Let me just tweak this and tweak that. And that's it. It's amazing. And so initially, you might find AI suggestions are too formal or too casual, and you're going to want to correct it. And so if you're in Gemini, that's one language model that's in your email. It'll learn through your emails. If you're in ChatGPT, it'll learn in there. If you're in Claude, it will learn in there. Hence, therefore, ergo, my original suggestion at the beginning of this, which is go to jumpconsulting.net/magi, MAGAI, to get 30% off your first 3 months using Magi. And you can play with all the different LLMs and you can understand the difference with all of them. I do also suggest you join us in the mastermind too, because we have so many trainings on things like this. And you can ask me questions and I will do a training on the spot for you. And that's jumpconsulting.net/mastermind. Okay, so speed is obviously a benefit here, especially if you're dealing with like 10 or 20 emails a day, even if you're dealing with just 5 emails a day, okay? It can really help. Your brain can only make so many decisions a day. You can only be so creative. And if you have AI that is integrated in your life and it can help you break things down, you can be so much more productive and you can save some of those. Let's say you can only make 25 big decisions a day. It'll save you some decisions. So maybe you can apply that to the people you love, your friends, your family, your spouse, your kids. Okay. And so the consistency also is there. So sometimes you're rushed or you're in a bad mood. You might want to send a curt email or maybe draft it, right? I know I'm not the only one that's done this. You draft an email and then you want to like cool off. So you come back to it. Then you spend another 20 minutes trying to recraft this email. And then you're still not sure. And you send it to someone else. You're like, how does this sound? And then they come back and it's like, how much time have you just wasted? Number one. How much emotional anguish have you just wasted? When you add up the overthinking and the anxiety, and if you're not implementing this into your life, please, I literally would beg you on my knees right now, please incorporate AI in the right way in your business and your life. Now, potential pitfalls, over-reliance. You don't want to overly rely on it. It also has hallucinations. Hallucinations are maybe you're only a dog walking company and it says, oh yeah, we provide cat sitting services, or a lack of personal antidotes. So it's good at like structure and standard phrasing, but sometimes all the time, it does not have your personal memories, okay, or your personal experiences. And so it can't just like come up with that unless you give it. So I really want to give you kind of a final thought and then key takeaways and immediate action steps, okay? So 1, proactive customer support. We talked about anticipating the client's need with AI-generated resources through a new client welcome guide, okay? And the result of all that is going to be less friction, less repetitive messaging, and happier clients. Can you imagine how much time and money you'll save? Number 2 is personalizing client updates, sending those daily or weekly updates about each pet's walk, behavior, feeding. It can be draining and it can be discombobulated with all the different people on your staff. And this is going to help you be warm, specific, and consistent. Also, number 3, organizing and enhancing client communication. It's going to help you feel less overwhelmed and more accomplished. And it's definitely important for solopreneurs or teams who can't afford like a full-time admin just to take care of the inbox. And 4th, AI that mimics your voice. This is probably one of the most exciting aspects that if you truly use it, and I tell my jumpers all the time that you should use it in your personal life too, because it really starts to know you the more you use it. So key takeaways. 1, AI is your assistant, not your replacement. 2, be transparent, but not robotic. Stay ethical. And 4, start small. Now, action steps that you can immediately do right now today. 1, create the top 5 client FAQs. Write them down. 2, create a basic update template. Like, how do you usually, what's the anatomy of a care note? If you have my handbook and manual, it's in there. Number 3, explore the AI in your inbox. Okay. Most of you guys have Google Workspace. So use it if you have it, especially if you have it, because it's free. 4, practice the tone training. So do that. And I promise you, once you're comfortable with these initial steps, you're going to see how it can become a true ally in your business. My feed is filled with jumpers, absolutely minds blown with how much they've been able to help their business, streamline their business, work smarter, not harder, all the things. So be following me on Instagram, Bella Vasta. Friend me on Facebook, Bella Vasta. I am not saying this to say this. I truly want to hear back from you. Hey, Bella, I listened to episode 423 talking about client experience and give me back time. I had this question. I would love to hear from you. Love, love, love. Now, listen, there are a lot of words and acronyms in the AI space. And our next episode, I'm actually going to be breaking down what these concepts are. It's almost going to be like a glossary. And so you're not going to want to miss it. And you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. But again, this is my personal invite to you. Thank you for spending the last 28 minutes with me. I would love nothing more for you to join the mastermind. Okay. You can get in there right now, $25 off a month at Bella25. It's $177 a month. It's month to month. I promise you, I will make you your money back in 1 week. If you show up, and that means like, text me back, like get on a call with me. I will make you that money back. So really, there's no reason why not to join this. I'm going to make you more efficient. I'm going to make you do things in less time. I'm going to show you how to be way better than your competition, because the general public still has their heads in the sand and they're scared about AI and they think that it's a fad or they think that it's terrible. And I'm literally here to show you step by step, and your peers are here to show you. Your peers are already doing this. So my respectful question to you is, what are you waiting for? Join us. Join us. This month, you're also not going to want to miss out, because once a quarter, we have our HR gal, Nikki Ramirez from HR Answers, come in, and she'll be in there answering all of the HR questions that we have. We also have AI labs where we get in and we just get in and get right into the sandbox and start playing in AI. And I show you guys stuff where people ask questions in real time. And it's so cool, because even if you don't have a question, you really learn from everyone else. As it relates to the HR, we also have an entire spreadsheet of over like 300 questions, I think it is, all organized by topic, and then the actual question, and then the timestamp and the link to the video that you can get it. So I don't know where else in this industry people talk about HR. I haven't seen anything. And that's why in 2018, I started giving my community that access, because I think it's really important as we're all learning how to be better business owners and leaders in our team. So please, this is my personal invite right now. Join the mastermind. You literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I guarantee you, I will make you your membership back. If you want to do a whole entire year, it's only $1,524. That's $1,524 for the entire year. In one AI training, I already saved Randa $1,700 because she was using a software to make her schedules for her dog walking staff. What? Yeah, give me a challenge. I'll rise to it every single time. Guys, this has been another episode of Bella in Your Business. Thank you so much for being with me. I have a feeling these episodes might be more back to like the 30-minute mark or so. Please let me know. These are for you. Do you like them at 30 minutes? Do you want them at an hour? Do you want them like 10 or 15 minutes? What is best for you? I envision a lot of you guys driving around, going from pet sit to pet sit. I get a lot of feedback from you guys that you just binge on Bella. So I also don't know what that's going on. And just for time cap's sake, this is currently February 2025. So if you're listening to this in the future, because I don't think I'm stopping this anytime soon, I've been doing this every single Thursday since 2014 for 10 years. 10 years. Whoo-wee. That's incredible. I don't know many other things I've done in my life consistently for 10 years. That's crazy. Anyways, I absolutely adore you guys. And I want to remind you that when life gets you down, always keep jumping, because you will keep the momentum going and you'll never get stuck in the mud. That's why I say always keep jumping. I hope to hear from you guys. Have a great, great day, whatever it is that you're doing. Bye now.